Hello and welcome back. So before we continue saving the information, we need to add a few helpers here, because if I add some text here and try to submit, everything works except I don't get my text back. So what we can do in this case is we can put some if statements on the view itself here. But this is not a proper way to do things, since we are doing this in an organized manner. So what we can do instead is create some helpers. Now helpers are just functions that we can create to easily do things quickly. So to create some helpers here, what we will do is go to the core here, and we're going to create a file. Now helpers are just functions, so we can just create a file named functions.php. So new file here, and just put some PHP tags and save that. And then we're just going to say functions.php. You can call it helpers.php, that's okay. And then we have to go to autoload and add it right here. So config database, let's actually start with, just after the config, let's add our functions so that they are available throughout. So functions there and save. Okay, so now that we have those functions there, we can simply go to the same file, functions.php, and let's create a few functions here. So I'm just going to say function, we'll say getVar. That's the first one I'll make, and the other one is function escape, like so. These are the most common ones. So getVar, let me make a second one here and getSelect, like so. All right, very nice. So getVar is going to be used as a HTML helper to help us get the old value. So you can name these functions whatever is easiest for you to remember. But the issue here is we want to add a value over here. So in the first name, last name, and email, we're just going to paste, let's say value here, and then we will paste the getVar. So here I will simply do this and paste and close that. So inside the value, we'll use getVar to get the value, but we need to know which of these should be used. So here I will put quotes like that. First name, we're getting the value for the first name, here for the last name, and then finally here for the email. So email, like that. So let's see if it's going to work for these. So if we go to functions here, and I will get the var here and just say key, actually that's the key I want. So we're just going to check if is set, like so, the key that we are looking for, which is key. Okay, so if that key is set, let's return that value. So copy that and paste it there. It's as simple as that. Okay. Okay, pretty good. And then on the escape, we want to escape all the HTML code that might be harmful. So we're just going to say return. So there's a value here, var, and then we just say return HTML special chars var. So what we're doing here is just escaping this value to make it safe. So if you don't know what this does, do not worry. We're going to go through it once we start using it. For now, we'll leave these. So let's just see if these two will work. So refresh, sorry here, let me just refresh there. Let me type something there, and then add user. Okay, So there it needs a valid email. Let me just remove that, paste. And as you can see, the data has remained. Once I've clicked on there, the data is still there. So this is working fine, but this won't work for the select here. So for the select, we're going to need something different, which is why I have this getSelect. So here there's going to be the key, but then there's going to be also a value. So in this case, we're going to check, first of all, if the key and value exist, just like we did here. But instead of returning the key, we're going to check if that value matches this. Wait a minute. If the value in here matches this value that we've been given, so I'm going to say return, not return yet. We'll just use an if statement and say if here. So here I just want to return an empty string like so. Okay. If nothing goes well, here we can return an empty string as well. If nothing goes well, like that. Okay. So on this one, if this key is equal to value, like so, then we return the text selected, like so. Alrighty then. Maybe let's not leave any spaces here. Okay, like that. So this is for the select, because what happens is, if for example, I go back to my signup view, if here I just type the word selected, like so, if I type that, it means reception will always be the selected one when we first load the page. Okay, so that didn't seem to work. Reception selected. Maybe it wants to have true here. Let me see if that will work like that. Okay, so reception now is selected, but let's see. If I do this, that should have worked as well. But now I'm not sure. So let me go to another page and then come back here. And then back to the sign up. Okay, so we see reception is set there once we type the word selected here. So what we want to do is just to check if a particular value is true, and then we echo out selected. So here I'm going to do the same thing here. I'll do this like what I did here. Okay, I should have copied this first. So copy that and come down here, select all these guys, space, paste. But instead of getVar, we have getSelected. GetSelected. Oh, getSelect actually. That's the name of our helper. Yes, getSelect. So we need to supply a key and a value. Here we do have a key, but we need a value as well. So the key is rank. So all of these guys should have the same key, which is rank, because that's the name of this particular select. And then here we'll need a value for any of these. So if the value is empty, then it's going to select this one. If it's student, it will select this one. If it's reception, you get the picture. So lecturer, copy, boom, admin, copy, paste, super admin, copy, paste. Okay, so let's copy the same phenomenon and add it to our gender as well. Okay, so make sure you leave enough space here and there so that the select does not interfere with this text here. So we'll change this rank to gender, and then we're going to set this to male and this one to female. Now keep in mind that I'm looking at this value and not the display text, but this value instead. That's what should match there. Okay, so let's see if this actually works. So let's refresh first, and then I'm going to select lecturer and here female and say add user. So you see that now these are sticking to the plan. If I click again, they are stuck there. So the only one that we didn't take care of is the password. So we just have to copy this value thingy here, copy, come to our password, space, paste there, and then we'll have our way, which is, what's this one? Password. And this one is password 2, like so. So getVar, getSelect, and we are home dry. Okay, so back here, refresh, and let's see if we will have things sticking to the plan once we do this. So there we go. Selected gender, male, rank, super admin, and then password here, and password again. Now here everything looks fine, but so let me do something by mistake. I'll put 2 there so that we don't redirect, and I'll say add. Oops, so that redirected me even though the values do not match. So that is a problem. So let's come back to here to make sure that we can correct that. Where is that? Rank. Oh, just look what I did here. I completely overwrote the password thing and I didn't even notice. This is just bad. Okay, so let me duplicate one of these. I totally removed that thing without realizing. So normal password check here. That is not good. So let me change all this to password and just say passwords do not match again. Okay, so if you want to do more checks for the passwords, you can do that. For example, so if empty password or data password, let me change this whole thing, is not equal to password 2. So you say passwords do not match. You can also have a second check for passwords. Let's see how that would work. Where if you want the minimum value, the minimum length of a password to be very specific. So I don't need this because I'm already checking for it here. So I can just say check for password length. So I'll say if string len, like this, password is less than or equal to 8, like so, then you can say password must be at least 8 characters long. Okay, so that is how we roll. So back here, if I try again, I still have the info. That's good. So now I can do add and see passwords must be at least 8 characters long, or I can say let me add character and then add. You see passwords do not match. Okay, so those errors are doing a good job. At least now we have something sticking here and we have proper error checking here. But now I want us to have these errors come over here and then we insert. Now the insert is very easy to do. Remember, it's just one line of code that we need to add in order to insert this thing. So it's not a big deal. So in the next video, what I want us to do is move the errors to here so it's more presentable, and then we can insert that row. I'll see you in the next video.